for joining us for the Wacky News for the week ending October the 12th, 2012. I don't know if it's because times are bad or if this person is just a good old country boy that eats what he shoots. It happened in Holland Township in southwest Michigan. On a third-floor deck of an apartment building, someone was trying to burn off the fur of a squirrel with a propane torch in order to cook and eat it. But things didn't work out as planned. The resident set the apartment building on fire. The flames spread to the roof and destroyed 8 apartments and damaged several others. No tenants were injured in the fire, but a fireman did break his toe. In Madison, Wisconsin, 21-year-old Andrew Bishop of Roseville, Minnesota, probably just wanted to see the sights of the city when he broke a first-floor window to get inside the Wisconsin Capitol building. He was found later in a drunken stupor, passed out on the 4th-floor rooftop just below the dome's observation deck. Police said he was later apologetic, but that didn't stop them from arresting him for felony criminal damage and a misdemeanor of entering a locked building. He's now in jail on a $1,000 bond. In jolly old England, celebrating a birthday with a drink or two is probably not an uncommon occurrence. Heck, some of them probably wake up the next morning with a hangover. That's what happened to Sonny Rees at his birthday party that was held at Frankie and Benny's restaurant in Swansea Wells when he was given some type of drink with booze in it. His mother noticed him making funny faces, tasted the drink, and determined that Sonny was clearly intoxicated. He was taken to a local hospital where his vitals were monitored by the staff and was later given the all clear to go home. Now, you may be asking, what's the big deal? A lot of people get drunk and don't have to go to the hospital and have their vitals monitored. And why would his mother, of all people, be tasting his drink? Well, you see, Sonny Rees was just celebrating his 2nd birthday. The restaurant said the drink was given to him accidentally and apologized to the family, and said they were looking into what they needed to do to ensure this didn't happen again. In July, several miles off the shores of Alaska, a hunting vessel rescued a 15-week-old walrus. The Alaska Sea Life Center has been caring for the mammal. At first, he had bladder problems and wasn't able to take a bottle. But now, he's doing well and gaining a pound a day. Named Mytique, he now tips the scales at over 235 pounds and will be going to a new home at the Wildlife Conservation Society's New York Aquarium in Brooklyn. After being quarantined at the aquarium for a month, he will join the aquarium's 2 other walrus, 30-year-old Nuka and 17-year-old Kula. Half Moon Bay, California, is known as the pumpkin capital of the world, and each year they hold a giant pumpkin contest. This year, 45-year-old Tad Starr from Pleasant Hill, Oregon, who's won the contest before, took first place with his 1,775-pounder, topping last year's winner by 71 pounds. The runner-up pumpkin only weighed in at 1,521 pounds. Starr said he was going to take his family to Disneyland with his $10,650 prize money. A couple from Helsinki, Finland, took first place in the North American Wife Carrying Championship at Sunday River Ski Resort in Newry, Maine. The man has to carry his wife over a course that includes hurdles, sand traps, and a water hole. The Finnish couple finished the course in 52.58 seconds and won the woman's weight in beer and 5 times her weight in cash, which amounted to $530. Oh yeah, they shared their beer winnings with the 2nd and 3rd place finishers. How demented is this? 34-year-old Ronald Robinson of Jacksonville, Florida, resealed and returned used enemas to pharmacies, who in turn resold them to unsuspecting customers. Authorities say the customers who purchased the used enemas have been notified. Robinson faces federal charges of tampering with consumer products and could face a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine if convicted. While Cassie Bernard was horseback riding in Accomack, Virginia, she was hit in the head by a 1-foot piece of raw chicken that fell from the sky. Fortunately, she was wearing a helmet and wasn't hurt. Several other riders say they saw chicken parts falling from the sky also. Officials believe that they were dropped by seagulls that had taken the chicken parts from an improperly maintained compost pile. A nearby Tyson food processing plant said the raw chicken parts couldn't have come from their facility, as all byproducts are loaded onto trucks inside a building and are covered with tarps before leaving the plant. In London, 28-year-old Hanson Adamer UPS'd a gift-wrapped fake bomb to his sister in Turkey as a way to disrupt her wedding. But at the Ataturk airport in Istanbul, a customs officer discovered the package. Bomb disposal experts were called and said the device made from a clock, wires, and putty was a hoax. British police counter-terrorist coordinator Stuart Osborne said Adamer's actions were extremely irresponsible and wasted valuable police resources both in Turkey and in London. An unnamed 23-year-old man said he was invited to the Sumter, South Carolina home of 32-year-old John Scott to watch football. While there, an argument started between the two men over how long Scott's girlfriend had been in the shower. During the argument, Scott stabbed the 23-year-old 4 times in the back. He's been charged with attempted murder. And as for the victim, deputies said he needed stitches, but the injuries were not life-threatening. 49-year-old Todd Fries, also known as Todd Burns, was hired to do some work on the driveway of a Tucson, Arizona home. But the homeowners weren't satisfied with the work done by Fries' employees, so they stopped payment on their check. Later, they found motor oil, paint, grease, feces, dead animals, and foam packing peanuts on the driveway leading up to the front door of the house. After moving to a gated community, their home was attacked again with buckets of burning, gas-emitting debris. Fries has been convicted of unlawful possession and use of a chemical weapon. Outside a motel room in Gallup, New Mexico, police found a naked man with a bleeding head wound. Their investigation found that 57-year-old Andy Tahi's wife, 50-year-old Juanita Raymer, got angry with him when he went out. When he returned, Raymer hit her husband over the head with a bottle, made him take his clothes off, and chased him out of the room. Now she's awaiting a trial. Is it me, or some people just getting stupider? In Southfield, Michigan, 37-year-old Todd Kettler goes into a strip club, starts using money covered with red dye from those exploding packs that banks use to track money stolen in bank robberies. The strip club manager, seeing the red-dyed money, called the police. Kettler was arrested and is being held on a $1 million bond for bank robbery. It happened in Daytona Beach, Florida. A hungry 19-year-old South Carolina man, Christopher Collins, ordered a couple of pizzas to be delivered to an apartment. When the delivery guy got to the apartment, it was dark and it appeared no one was home. He called Collins' phone number, and Collins told him he had given him the wrong apartment number and would come meet him. After Collins arrived, he made small talk and then asked how much he owed for the pizzas. The delivery man told him $26.09. Collins walked towards another apartment and returned a few seconds later, asking again the amount owed. The delivery man used a flashlight to show him the receipt. That's when Collins stuck a stun gun to the guy's stomach and tried to grab the pizzas, but the delivery man forcefully pulled them away from him. Collins then ran off into the direction of the river. Police discovered that the same phone number had been used before to order pizza and went to the apartment address listed for the phone. Once at the apartment building and standing outside the door, they heard someone say, "I tried to get the pizza, but he wouldn't give it up." The police then entered the apartment and found Collins there with his 2 brothers. While searching the apartment, the police found the stun gun and the phone used in the attempted robbery. The pizza delivery man positively identified Collins, who was then placed under arrest. He said he was hungry and was just trying to rob the pizza guy of the pizza. In the western Pennsylvania town of Northern Cambria, 50-year-old Jeffrey McMullen went into the AmeriSafe Bank, where he's a regular customer, and handed a note to a teller that read, "Federal bank robbery. Please hand over $1. The teller thought it was a joke. So McMullen goes over to a new accounts employee and told them that he was robbing the bank for a buck. Police don't know why he wanted to be federally prosecuted other than to be sent to a central Pennsylvania prison. Now McMullen has got to undergo a mental evaluation and post $50,000 bail to get out of jail. In Miramar, Florida, an impatient would-be bank robber waited in line at a branch of the Chase Bank. When he got to the teller, he handed her a note demanding money. I guess the teller took her own sweet time, and the man, he got tired of waiting and walked out of the bank. The police were there waiting for him and arrested him on the spot. One officer said he didn't leave with a penny. The man didn't show a weapon during the robbery, and police and the FBI are investigating the case. And before I go, here's a quickie for you. When 35-year-old Sean Payne was charged with public intoxication, he was so drunk, Texas authorities had to hold his head up in order to take his mugshot. Hey, thanks for watching the Wacky News, and don't forget to come back next week for more of the weird and strange happenings of the world.